All right, so we are at Sierra Frac Sand in Harwood, Texas. Phone number on the sign is 903-836-4642. And I'm pulling into the northernmost entrance. It is a restricted rail spur by some agency. I don't know what the agency is. So you can see back behind there are a lot of rail cars. There is a working rail yard back there. I don't know whose rail yard that is. But as we turn, we see there is a road right here. To my left, you have a 2-track spur. And as we get closer to these rail cars, you'll see there's 2 sets of cars that are lined up. There's mostly liquid cars right now on the rail spur. The rail spur seems abandoned. There is between the road and between the road I'm on, which is the private road here at Sierra Frac Sand, and the fence, which is the boundary to the state highway, we are, a good 50 feet. So there's room even right there to do stuff. If we were so inclined, there's plenty of room right there. You can see there's 2 spurs. Trying to fill time, trying to be a good host to you, Mr. Charpentier, Mr. Tarrant, Mrs. Tarrant, whoever wants to look at this lovely video. We're probably about halfway down the spurs right now. We're coming up on some frac tanks that are sitting here and a little office area, for lack of a better term. Getting close to it. I'm not going to go into any buildings. I don't think that's what I'm trying to do here. But I'm just trying to get an idea what we're looking at. I don't have a very good handle on how many acres this place is. I just don't have a very good handle on that. It's many. Like I said, we're coming up to this little office area. And we're getting close. On my right is the southernmost entrance into this facility. This looks like where whoever was operating this had their trucks coming in. And I say that because as I turn around the end of the rail spur, you'll see there's signs for trucks. There's signs for trucks. And what I'm going to do now is I'm not going to drive back down the other side of the rail spur. I'm going to drive close to the warehouse that's here on my right. We have, it looks like a very large warehouse. I don't even want to guess how many. I'm going to say it's at least 100 wide and maybe 300 long. Yeah, probably. It's probably a football field. So there you go. I'm going to climb up here on the concrete. Looks like there's working scales. I don't know, of course, what condition the scales are in, but it looks like there's working scales to some degree in a little scale house. There's that. Still just cruising along. You can see there's some dead space here between the warehouse and the rail spur. I count quite a few, meaning 3 or 4 RBT conveyor belts. There's multiple entrances into the warehouse area. Where there's not an entrance, it looks like they just have shipping containers blocking the warehouse to kind of halfway enclose it. So you can see we're driving down right next to the warehouse. Everything looks good. I mean, old equipment, not knowing. Let's see, can I swing in here? You can. There's one of the RBTs. Kind of a good look at it. They all look like they're in pretty good shape. I mean, without turning them on and finding out, don't know. Just don't know. And we got another one. Again, I'm not going to drive into the warehouse. I don't think that's something I should do. There is power on the warehouse. I say that because if you look above that RBT chute, that is a light that's on. There's a light that's on. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn around, and I'm going to back track just a little bit here. And the reason I'm going to backtrack is I'm going to follow that road we saw off of the southernmost entrance of this facility to just kind of see where it goes. Open gates mean you can do almost anything you want. I know that's not true. You know that's not true, but I'm going to say it anyway. I'm really curious if these scales are in good shape. I'm really curious about that. I'm really curious. I've got a phone call.